Hello everyone. I thought today I would just make a card with one of these backgrounds from my last video on pigment powders, spray starch and cling wrap. So I've got a whole bunch of them here, all perfectly dry now. That's the one I used, well, part of, to make yesterday's card, a little thank you card. So today I thought I'd use a different one, and I thought I would use some butterflies. I've got out some, I'm not sure if they're memory box or poppy stamps, but one of the two. And I thought I would try and use a small piece for a panel for a background and some of the same card for the butterflies. So I was thinking perhaps this one is not a bad choice for butterflies. I don't know if you have purpley butterflies with gold wings, but who knows. So I've cut a card base and a card panel, and my thinking is I will have a strip to go down of somewhere on here, and then some butterflies and a simple sentiment. And I was thinking perhaps get well or thinking of you, that kind of thing. And I've dug out a couple of old wooden block stamps. I haven't used wooden block stamps for ages, but the quality of the rubber for the images is fabulous. So we'll see. I've also got just polymer, a set of sentiments to choose from. Okay, right, first thing, I need to choose a section of this as my strip to go down my card. Let's just mask off a bit so we can see what we're looking at. There's some look at that. Isn't that lovely? Just the very edge, look at it. That is beautiful. Let me just have that. Don't go no further. Let me just have that. I think that's fabulous. The very, very edge. Just how much of it do we want? I don't think that edge is parallel, so we have to cut this way. Right. About that much, I would think. That's probably enough. Okay, just look at it, it's beautiful. Now, what I'd like to do is see how long it needs to be. Look at it, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Which end do I cut off? I think I'll cut the top off. Okay. What I could do to get it absolutely correct is just to cut that like that. No, I won't. I'll just do it on a trimmer. Let's see how long it's got to be. And then we'll do the butterflies. So this has got to be just to there. Okay. Absolutely straight. That's it. There we go. So there's my piece that's going to go on there. But what I'd like to do is to edge it to make it just look kind of finished. So we'll have a piece of this, which is just a bit wider than this. Let me get my trimmer again. It's the same length. So now we want it just a little wider. So I'm thinking about there. Let's just get this in absolutely straight and trim. Now, rather than just plonk one on top of t'other, I want to use a scoreboard to just add a little interest to the edges of this. This is the right side. It's going to sit on it like that. And I want to just emboss from the back down each side. So I get an embossing tool. That's a bit big. Let's try this chap. Just putting the edge of the piece of card onto the edge of this board. I'm using this board because the grooves are really wide. It's Crafter's Companion scoring board. It's the one I use to make boxes. Somebody said to me, I was cutting out one of these strips with you know, one of those trimmers that you slide the blade up and down, and you can score with it as well. It's got a scoring, not a blade, but a scoring nib, if you like. She said, oh, you went and got another one. Why didn't you use, you had a scoring thing right there, but the groove on that is really, really narrow, and it didn't have the effect that I wanted. So that's why I use this particular board. These grooves are really, really wide, much wider than my regular scoring board that I use when I'm making card bases. So that is why I use this, because I want a really nice rounded effect for the edges of this piece of card. There you go, you see? Don't know if you can see that, but it is kind of nice. So this is going to go onto my card panel like that. And I want to have perhaps a couple of butterflies. Now, again, with solid dies like this, you could put them on wherever like this, but you don't know exactly what is appearing behind. So what I do is cut out, and I've lost it, story of my life. I cut out a piece of paper. Oh, it's not fallen on the floor. Right, here we are. This, just from a piece of scrap paper, cut each of these butterflies out so that I can put it over my background. Look at that. And you see, I can see exactly what the die cut will look like. So what I want to do, first of all, is just see which butterflies I want to use. I don't think this card is large enough to use all three, to be perfectly honest. I think it's kind of a bit on the, do you know, I think I'm going to turn that way, because this is a lighter side, and if I've got a dark butterfly there, it'll show up more, won't it? So let's just have a look. That's a bit big, I think. Let's have a look at these chaps. I think that will do, actually, those two. And then a sentiment. I've got wishing you well, which could go across there, or get well soon. This one's a hero art. This one is an art impressions. I could do both and see which I fancy. Looks to me like it might be nice if I embossed it in gold. But first of all, let's cut out our two butterflies, and then we'll see. Let's see, we're going to use this one and that one. So I like that up there, didn't I? Let's just have a look round. I do like that. It's got a bit of, look at that bit of colour in the wing there. Look at that. About like there. This should cut through without any problem. Keeping the piece of card in there. That's going to be falling off the end. I'll just cut this apart so that it doesn't get mashed up in the machine. Let's find the place again. We were here somewhere, weren't we? I think that one is quite nice, right there. Okay, let's cut this out. There we go, that's one. Look at that. See what I mean about having the light side this side so that the contrast is there with the dark of this. Now let's choose a little butterfly. Let's have a look. Where shall we put it? I don't know where to put it actually. There's just so many lovely places. Oh, that's quite nice, up right in that corner. What's it like the other way round? Not so good. I'll cut this apart so I don't have that thing overlapping. Right, let's just see again. Where was it? There, that's nice, isn't it? Let's have that little chap right there. Okay. Oops, moved it. I moved it. Let's look again. I might have to tape it down. There. Let me just tape it down so I can get rid of the piece of paper, which is probably going to get in the way. This is the hingey thing that I do if I want to make sure something stays in the right place. Just check it's right. There, okay, like that. Pop it in the gap. Hope you can see this. Let me do it down here just in case. That's the image I want, right there. Pop that on, there, and onto this paper here. Then I can lift that up, take that out and put it back, and we're there. Okie dokie. Right. There. Okay, and it's on the mat. Right, now, let's have a look. And our sentiment. Let's get a bit of scrap. I could maybe have, let's put it a bit further over, maybe have done a die cut one, but let's try one of these. Which one shall we have? Let's have this scratchy one and see how this goes on. Bit of anti-static. Bit of Versamark. Okay. Get well soon. Just leave it a moment. And we will emboss. A bit of scrap paper. Gold embossing powder. Oh, lovely. That is so nice. And we just whiz this, heat it up. Lovely. Now I just need to die cut this. There's a little spillage here. I will just wash away. There we go. Right. What are we going to cut this with? Oh, that just about fits, doesn't it? Let's try this. If I don't like it, I always stamp another one. It isn't often that the die I use to cut a sentiment is exactly the right proportions. I have to do a bit of fiddling around very often. So, get well soon. I think that'll be okay. Right, shall we do a little bit of assemblage, as it were. Right, do I need another thickness of those? I think I will. I'll just have a double thickness just to make them a little bit more robust. Okay, I'm just going to cut another couple of these to give those two a second layer so that they're just a bit more robust, because I'm not going to stick them down completely. I'm only going to stick them down in the centre so that the wings are uplifted, or able to be uplifted. So let's just pop these out and we'll stick them together. I was wondering whether I'd need a bit of gilding wax on the edges of these, but I think there's sufficient gold from the actual background not to bother. So let's just stick these. Right. It's really pretty. The colours are lovely. There's just so many things you can use these backgrounds for, kind of as well as backgrounds, really. Some of them might look a little bit messy in their entirety, but if you take them small portions at a time, they're just lovely. Right, now we'll put this lot together. I'm going to use my tape runner for this. Around the edge, got to make sure all the bits of adhesive are within the realms of the actual piece. Let's just pop this onto here. I was wondering about doing a bit of finishing edges to this, but I don't think I'm going to bother. Keep it simple. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Just look, and it's going to go that way so that the hectic gold is that side, and we've got a little bit of contrast for the gold of the butterflies on this side. So this is going to go onto the panel. Got a panel on a panel here. Okay, and I think I want it reasonably far over. Soak that bit of adhesive in, and there we are. Just going to do this with the edges. Don't like cut edges so much, so just ram them over with an embossing tool. Okay, right, now we're going to add the butterflies, and with those I think we will use glue dots. They're so pretty. Let me get some glue dots. May just add a pearl or two on these as well for the body. These butterflies they don't come with a body. So let's just, I think that's quite nice on here. Now this little glue dot is just slightly wider than the gap it's in, so I'm just going to pull it in so that it doesn't show from the front. If you just do this, it kind of sticks to itself, and so none of that glue or adhesive will be visible from the front. Oakley dokley. Right, shall we put that? Let's have it facing a slightly different way. And I'm going to use my pearls again. Very fond of pearls. So, whoops. So we'll put one on there. So sweet. And one on there. Just kind of finishes them off, doesn't it? And then we'll pop the Get Well Soon. Should we do it right to the side? Yes, I think we will. And I think, did I use a bit of foam tape? I think I'm going to use it up to there, just a bit. And I think I'm going to use a bit of foam sheet rather than foam tape, because I think this is slightly thinner. Let's just have a look. No, there's not a lot in it. I'll use foam tape. Right. Let's hope I'm sticking this on the right end. Yes. And a little bit of glue for the bit that overlaps that panel, because it's got several thicknesses of card, which is why I need the foam tape to balance it out on the right hand side. Okay, let's take these off. And we're going to pop this on so it's right to the edge of that front panel. There we go. And now, putting this on, I think I'm going to put it on flat because we've already got foam tape. We don't want too many thicknesses of that, otherwise the postman will be charging excess postage if we haven't assessed it properly before popping in the mail. So here we go. That is so pretty. Oops, there's a bit showing there. Okay. Get well soon. What a pretty panel. Isn't that sweet? Well, I hope you're going to have fun with your pigment powders, your spray starch and not foam wrap, cling wrap. Someone asked me where I got spray starch from. As with lots of items for my crafting, I get things from Amazon. Press and seal came from Amazon. Cling wrap often comes from Amazon. Spray starch came from Amazon. So when in doubt, have a little check on Amazon and just see what they've got. So there we go. A get well soon card for someone who's feeling a little bit low. Thank you so much for watching.